The year was 1930. The world was grappling with the aftermath of the stock market crash of 1929. In the United States, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act was signed into law. This act dramatically increased tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods. The goal was to protect American businesses and farmers from foreign competition. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act is widely considered a disastrous policy blunder. Instead of helping the American economy, it exacerbated the Great Depression. The tariffs triggered a wave of retaliation from other countries. Global trade plummeted, deepening the economic crisis worldwide. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act had a domino effect on the global economy. Countries around the world responded to the American tariffs by imposing their own protectionist measures. International trade ground to a halt. This trade war deepened the Great Depression. Businesses failed, unemployment soared, and millions of people were plunged into poverty. The economic hardship of the 1930s had a profound impact on global politics, contributing to the rise of nationalism and ultimately World War II. Fast forward to 2025. The world is once again facing the specter of a trade war. This time, it is fueled by the tariffs imposed by the United States under President Donald Trump. Trump's tariffs, like Smoot-Hawley, are designed to protect American industries and workers. They have been met with swift retaliation from major trading partners like China, the European Union, and Canada. These tariffs have introduced significant uncertainty into the global economy. Businesses are delaying investments and consumers are facing higher prices. The tariffs have also strained relationships between the United States and its allies. There are striking similarities between the political and economic contexts of the Smoot-Hawley era and the present day. Both periods were marked by rising economic nationalism and protectionist sentiment. In the 1920s, the United States was experiencing a period of economic prosperity, but this prosperity was unevenly distributed. Farmers and some industries were struggling. Similarly, in the years leading up to Trump's tariffs, there was a growing sense of economic anxiety among some segments of American society. Both Smoot-Hawley and Trump's tariffs were enacted amidst a backdrop of rising global tensions. In the 1920s, Europe was still recovering from World War I. Today we are witnessing a resurgence of great power competition and a weakening of the international order. Section 5. A Different World. Distinctions in the global landscape. Despite the similarities, there are also important differences between the 1930s and today. The global economy is far more integrated than it was during the Great Depression. Global supply chains are deeply intertwined. This means that tariffs are likely to have a more complex and unpredictable impact on the global economy. They could disrupt production processes, raise prices for consumers, and lead to shortages of goods. Moreover, the international institutions that were created after World War II to promote cooperation and prevent economic warfare are under strain. The World Trade Organization, for example, is facing a crisis of legitimacy. Section 6. Voices of Warning. Economists speak out. Economists have been sounding the alarm about the potential consequences of a trade war. They argue that tariffs are likely to harm economic growth, both in the United States and globally. They point out that tariffs are essentially a tax on consumers. When tariffs are imposed, the prices of imported goods rise. This reduces the purchasing power of consumers and can lead to inflation. Moreover, economists argue that tariffs are inefficient. They distort markets and lead to a misallocation of resources. When governments interfere with the free flow of goods and services, it creates distortions that harm economic efficiency. Section 7. The Price We Pay. Impacts on consumers and the global economy. The tariffs imposed by the United States are already having a tangible impact on consumers and businesses around the world. In the United States, consumers are facing higher prices for a wide range of goods, from washing machines to cars. Businesses are also feeling the pinch. Manufacturers are facing higher costs for imported inputs, and some are being forced to relocate their operations overseas. The agricultural sector has been hit particularly hard as farmers have lost access to key export markets. The tariffs are also having a ripple effect on the global economy. Countries that are targeted by U.S. tariffs are retaliating with their own tariffs, leading to a tit-for-tat trade war. This is creating uncertainty and volatility in global markets. Section 8. Lessons Unheeded. History's Warning. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of protectionism. It is a cautionary tale that history seems determined to repeat. The current trade war, if it continues to escalate, could have devastating consequences for the global economy. The lessons of the past are clear. Tariffs are a blunt instrument that often does more harm than good. They can trigger retaliation, disrupt global trade, and harm economic growth. They can also exacerbate political tensions and undermine international cooperation. Section 9. Navigating the Storm, a Path Forward. The world stands at a crossroads. We can choose to continue down the path of protectionism and risk a repeat of the economic devastation of the 1930s. Or we can choose to work together to strengthen the global trading system and ensure that the benefits of trade are shared more equitably. The path forward is clear. We need to resist the siren song of protectionism and reaffirm our commitment to open markets and free trade. We need to work together to address the legitimate concerns of those who have been left behind by globalization. And we need to strengthen the international institutions that are essential for a stable and prosperous global economy.